Well, we know from history that every time we invest in infrastructure, there's a multiplier effect of about 3 times on the real economy. And if we make those infrastructure investments future-proof, we make them that they're useful in the long term. That to me is the best way to get the economy going. And if we can do that with an eye to the environment and make those investments in the green transition, that's the way forward. Europe shares this view. The European Green Deal is a sort of a bigger version of the Marshall Plan, and there's going to be a lot of money available. It's really important that the investments are not on the old ways of doing energy, but really push the envelope forward.
So talking of various hydrocarbons, it seems that coal's on its way out. That is almost uninvestable for many people nowadays. Oil is finding its own problems as well, but gas is contestable. I spoke to Martin Wetzler about this at Gastech in the last few days as well, and they are still fighting the fight for gas. You are still fighting the fight for gas as well, for various products and compressed natural gas and liquefied natural gas, but there are still echelons of people, environmentalists, who just say gas cannot be part of the equation.
I think that's true in the very long term, and I think everyone agrees with that. By 2050, at least in Europe, we have to get gas out. We need new types of gas, so we can have biomethane, we can have low carbon gases, we can have zero carbon gases like hydrogen. But there's still a long way to go to get rid of diesel and coal and replace those with gas is very environmentally friendly, because it's a lot less CO2, and at today's prices it's very convenient from an economic perspective.
And yet many people, and this is right into your ballpark, don't want to invest in that gas infrastructure in either whether it's the United States or whether it's this part of the world. They're concerned about the low prices as well and getting a return on that investment longer term as well. Is that a realistic concern?
I think it's true that prices right now in many parts of the world are extraordinarily depressed, so no one's really investing right now. But what we need to do is to get gas clean and gas green, and that transition will require hundreds of billions of dollars of new investments. We need some policy nudges, some pushes, some incentives to make it happen. Not huge, we don't need to do all the things we did for solar, but we need some help from policymakers, and that will really unleash a very positive transition.
Will that happen in geographical areas such as Europe, or will it be areas such as China and such as India? Because I know that you're looking at both of those areas in really meaningful ways.
It's very interesting you ask. I think the race is on. I think Korea, Japan, China, India are really pushing the hydrogen agenda forward. Europe is doing so as well. I think Europe will and can keep the lead because it has come out with a very explicit hydrogen strategy, which is very bold. And I think technology and energy will blend together and find a way to give us a solution.
And we've talked about hydrogen in Davos before, and I know that it is, if there was a man who's passionate about it, it's you, Marco, as well. But there is a public opinion problem with hydrogen, isn't there? And I know that's one of your key challenges and something you continue to present on, but you have solutions for that, do you?
Yeah, I think consumers have to come at the end. I think we need to first get into lorries, into trains, into factories. Cars will come. Hydrogen will become much cheaper, will become competitive with fossil fuels, we think, in 5 to 10 years. But we need to leave cars for last. The problem with hydrogen, it started with cars, but cars have their own challenge in consumers and infrastructure and availability of cars. We'll get there, but we need to start with a heavy industry. We need to start with all those, what we call hard to abate sectors, where it's really hard to get electrons in. It's really hard to have a steel plant running on electricity or a truck running on batteries. That's where hydrogen starts. And then eventually, when we get more comfortable with it, when it gets cheaper, it gets to consumers.